Super Dave here with another exciting episode of figures, play sets, and accessories that may work well with Masters of the Universe Classics or Masterverse figures. And it's been a while since I've done this, so this is episode 43. And the reason I wanted to do this one is because I was so impressed with the Frank Frazetta inspired through the Savage Crucible line of the warrior with ball and chain that I wanted to go ahead and get Who-Man. Who-Man. Not He-Man, but Who-Man. That's right. You heard it right. And so I really liked the articulation. I'll be honest, I'm not crazy about his outfit. It looks more Roman to me. I mentioned that in another review, but I like the articulation and I love the head sculpt. You're going to see why. But yes, Savage Crucible's back in the house in this episode for Who-Man. You heard it right. There you go. And so there is a little write-up about this Savage Crucible world there. If you want to read that, you can. And it says Who-Man on the top. But let's go ahead and open up. You see it has a bio to read about Who-Man here on the inside. If you'd like to pause and read that, you certainly can. All right, and there is the figure looking awesome, even with his armor looking kind of Roman there. He's just got a really nice looking face sculpt. I almost would say kind of like a He-Man. We've gotten so many different versions. It's okay to say He-Man, I reckon, but this one with brown hair. So maybe it is Wondar, right? No. But this guy, well, I don't know. I don't know if I'll keep him as Who-Man or not, but you can read the silly little thing here. It gives an explanation of why he's Who-Man. It's kind of silly to me, but I see what they're doing. They want to do their own thing with this Savage Crucible line, this world, this mythos they're building out, which is cool. One of the things I am excited about is they mention him finding Mina, or Mina, M-I-N-A, Mina, maybe? And so that'll be cool to see how they sculpt her when they finally bring that to the line. This is line 2. This is wave 2, where we get some actual real people. Wave 1 was those lizard beings. Quite a few of those are cool. And wave 3 is another bad guy line with some cool looking figures. But not sure I'm gonna get any of those. But I'd be interested in that Mina, M-I-N-A, Maya, Mina. I don't know. But let's go ahead and break open Who-Man over here in New Eternia with He-Man and the gang. We got Conan. We've got some other allies and friends over here. So let's go check him out over here. And here we are on New Eternia, getting ready to take a look at a figure that is by Savage Crucibles through Harbinger Studios. It is Who-Man. Who-Man. And we're going to check and see how Who-Man looks and what he comes with. And so let's look first at his accessories. And first of all, Who-Man comes with 3 sets of hands. He comes with some horizontal hinged weapon holding hands, as well as some horizontal hinged grappling, gesturing, and open palm hands, looking really good there, grabbing hands. And then he comes with a set of vertically hinged, good for sword wielding, weapon holding hands. No balled up fists, so that's kind of a bummer. But look at this beautiful head sculpt. It comes with 2 head sculpts. This head sculpt I think looks really good. I like the brown hair, I like the shape of the face, I like the serious look and the blue eyes. Comes with this beautiful sword which is translucent on the end there, almost like with a heated up type effect, but it is translucent. See it there? And it's got a neat hilt as well. But you can see this armor that he's decked out with, and most of that is removable, but looking really good here. Just a lot of gold. Check out this amazing shield that he comes with. This series really comes with some cool looking shields, that's for sure. And then he comes with another head sculpt. Look at that serious looking, angry, with red sclera eyes. I mean, he is just mouth open, teeth glaring. He is angry here. He's yelling out. He's barking out something here. So yeah, that's cool. But that is his accessories. Now, as you know, this Wave 2 comes with a bonus weapon. And he came with this, in a little blind bag, came with this neat scabbard type sword that's translucent purple. And I've got it with this dude, which is one of the bad guys from Savage Crucible, one of those lizard guys, looking so cool. I think this guy looks so amazing. This company really puts out some nice figures at a decent price. $50, I think it's not bad when you have this level of quality and articulation and accessories. And I was so tickled that I was able to get Who-Man before they sold out at the Harbinger Studios website. And it got here pretty quick too in America, but it's looking really nice. And I wasn't gonna get him because he looked too much, I don't know, too much armor, too much gold, like a Roman almost soldier, gladiator type thing. But I was so impressed with this guy that it sold me. And one of the things we're gonna do too is I'm gonna see what it would look like if I put this head on this body. I'm curious, because you know he only came with one head, and that's the helmet. But they look enough alike in the bottom part of the face. This guy's older looking, but I don't know. I think the skin tone's close enough. We'll see if it even fits. So we're gonna do that. But now let's take a look at our Who-Man's articulation. All right, bringing our Who-Man on in here, you can see that Who-Man has the same basic joints like the Warrior with Ball and Chain. If you've looked at that, he has a joint up underneath the bicep and a joint up underneath the forearm that gives him a double joint, but it's different from most. It actually looks more natural. See his elbow there? Looks more natural than a lot of figures. So really appreciate that. But I was going to show you before I remove this sword that he does have that vertical hinge for that sword, for that hand. And these hands are very tight, so you might have to heat it up in the hair with a hair dryer. And it actually mentions that on the flap on the inside of the box, to especially in colder climates, to heat it up. All right, let's see if we can go and check out this articulation. He's going to be able to look up that much, even with that long hair in the background. He's looking up pretty good there. He's going to look down all the way. He's also going to get really beautiful head pivot there. And so you're going to get the full range with this head. So that's really nice. Even shifts back and forth like that, and even side to side. So there's a lot of range there. So that's really cool. Have a nice good sized ball joint up in there. Let's go ahead and look at the other head while we're here to see if there's any difference in articulation. He's going to be able to look up pretty decent amount as well, look down all the way, and get really good head pivot side to side. Everything's going to be the same. He's going to shift. So yeah, pretty much the exact same articulation for this head sculpt as well. Just take a look at that. He's angry here. Spread out those arms, right? He's cool. It still looks like him, and it just looks like an angry version, which is really cool. Moving on to the arms, he's going to be able to get full 360 over here. And this piece actually is removable. You know, you have those balls here like we've seen in the other figure. So when you pop this off, and that one keeps falling off, that one kind of hangs on to there. You have the hole in the shoulder and the hole in the traps. But this shoulder piece just pops onto that hole. And then this shoulder piece pops into that hole. But yeah, even with that, you can still basically get the 360 over here. So just showing you that. But over here, you can see a little better. Matter of fact, I will go ahead and pop that piece off so that you can see that you have bicep swivel. And let's see here. Yeah, you can see it. Right here, you have that butterfly joint that extends out and back into the body. So it's gonna come forward a really good amount there and go back a good amount, forward and back. You can see how that shoulder is adjusting. Love the muscularity and the veins. The deltoids look really good. The tricep looks really good. Like I said, the elbow looks good. You also get an elbow swivel there under the biceps. You get both bicep swivel and elbow swivel. And technically you also get, I believe, yeah, you get a swivel at that gauntlet there because of the joint that goes up in here. And I've already shown you the vertical hinged hands, and he's got 2 sets of horizontal hinge hands. So that's cool. Let me go ahead and show you these double jointed elbows, because when you bend both, you're going to get pretty good range. The gauntlet is blocking slightly there, but yeah, it's bending good there. You can see how it looks. And so that's looking cool. Moving on, well, let me go ahead and show you his arms going out for a T pose there. Those pieces fall off very easily. I'm going to go ahead and pop those off there. There you go. T pose. And then moving these out of the way just slightly so you can see he's going to be able to crunch forward that much, which is really good. He's going to be able to bend back. It's really showing a lot of gappage in the front, but you can kind of compensate for that, but he will bend back that much. And I'm kind of using the diaphragm joint, which you can see it goes side to side as well, but I'm using that and it will swivel at the diaphragm, but I'm also using the ball joint in the waist when I bend him forward that much, and even bend him back that much. He'll go back even a little further. He's just hitting this big thick loincloth. That's the part that I'm not crazy about, this Roman looking part. Wish they had given him a little bit less of a flashy armor set. It looks like this is removable. I'm going to go ahead and put that to the test here. It looks like that right there. So yes, heated that up with the hair dryer. There is one little spot there, so if you take the head off, you are going to be able to work that armor off there. So I'm just going to take off all that upper stuff so that you can kind of get a better look at what Who-Man looks like without all of that kind of on him there. Look at those abs, looking really good down in there, kind of hidden by all this bulk. But yeah, he suffers a little bit from the same problem that the other guy had, the ball and chain guys. He's a little shiny, so I may treat him, looks pretty jacked in the back too. I may treat him with some flat matte type spray.
but looking really good. All right, moving on to the legs. He's going to be able to get a full split even with that skirt. Has excellent thigh rotation up in here, which is actually built into that upper ball joint. So it's not a break like Marvel Legends does. It's built up in that ball joint peg there. So that's nice. They do the same thing with their knees as they do with their elbows. There's a joint that goes right up in here and a joint that goes lower down into the calf. Instead of just a small piece, you get a long piece, which gives you a pretty good looking knee, especially with that knee cover over it. But you can see, gives it a good looking knee look. Cool. You can see even the elbows here, you don't have as much of a break. You can see the bicep still extends up in this section here, and you have the tendons. You do see the joint right there before it goes in the forearm, but you can even hide that if you bend it just a little bit more. So that elbow, I think, looks pretty decent. You know, it gives it a good look. It can really look like he's walking there with those butterfly joints, bringing that deltoid further up and then the other one further back, giving those abs. I mean, if I had one complaint, I think I said the same thing with the Warrior with Ball and Chain. I would say that his chest is a little small for a figure this jacked. He should have a bigger and bulkier chest. But the thighs look really good. Let me go and show you how that double joint will go all the way back here, but it's not going to touch. Ankle's not going to touch. And be careful, my thumb is so sore from these sharp. These are very sharp. They do not give at all. And so when you're trying to bend that knee, it's really hard on the thumbs. He kicks up really good. He gets a pretty good stride back as well. Moving on to the feet, he's going to be able to get pretty much a full tip toe almost. Goes up really good. And has, let's see, it's tight, but it's there. A rocker with a peg hole. Just didn't want to break those feet. I've had that happen before with the X-Ray Studio men. So I didn't want to break his ankle. But looking really good. So good articulation. Now I want to go ahead and check and see if his head will fit over here on our Warrior with Ball and Chain. Because this is such a dynamic looking figure. I love this guy. He's got the perfect loincloth and boots and everything that fit in with the MOTU lore, Masters of the Universe. But this is the only head sculpt he came with. So let's see if we can pop that off. Yep, it'll pop right off. Let's see if we can pop this one on here. Oh yeah. The skin tone matches perfect. Dude, I'm telling you, I may have to just... Yeah, I may just have to give this head to him. Yeah, that is so awesome because I love this figure. Just take a look at that. I love the way this figure looks. He's looking good. And I love that face sculpt. So I think... And look, the skin tone is perfect match. Perfect match. Same exact color. So that settles that for me. I mean, you still got a head for this body. You want to pose around like that. Or you could put that head on this body as well. That looks cool too. I'm going to go ahead and armor him back up right quick. All right, so I've got both of them right here side by side. I did leave off some of his armor. I left off one of the pauldrons that came on this side, as well as the shoulder type armor that came off over on this side to kind of make this match a little bit over here, not make him look as bulky. But see, that gold on his helmet actually matches this gold, so you could switch heads and do this. I really like that. I think this looks cool. I really do. I just like this figure, what I've created here by just switching heads. That he looks like he stepped right out of MOTU. He could be a friend of He-Man. He could be an Eternian, and I like that. And I like this figure as well, especially with his helmet. So I think I'm switching it off. Look at that shield. This guy looks like a Roman guard, some kind of high-tech Roman guard, you know, for the lore of the day. And that cool sword just goes good. I like that. I like using these Conan axe, because Conan's got his double-edged axe here, and I like using a single-edged axe with this guy. That came with the Iconic Collectibles Frazetta Girls Conan. That axe did, actually. But he's got a sword that is attached to his back there. This guy does, with some chains. But yeah, just take a look at these guys. Looking awesome together. Looks really good. Yeah, I like it. I'm loving this. Don't you like that head sculpt? Isn't that good? All right, so now let's do some comparisons. And here we are taking a look at our Who-Man next to He-Man, my favorite He-Man, which is the Revolution Battle Armor body, which also came with a regular chest armor. But this is a Hordak MX head sculpt, and Hordak MX has a lot of He-Man head sculpts, but this is the Mundo style. And yeah, I mean, this is my favorite He-Man head right now, and you can see that that matches up pretty good with Who-Man. Who-Man is a little shorter. He's about 6.5 scale, whereas He-Man is 7 inches, so 6.5. And I do have his knees bent a little bit, but yeah, about 6.5. So it's good scale, fits in good, even with our Iconic Collectibles Frazetta Girls Conan, who is awesome. Just again, take a look at that awesome body on this dude, the chest and everything. See, that's the kind of chest Who-Man should have. And they improved the He-Man chest, the Masterverse did, underneath there. They got a bigger chest on him and bigger traps. But yeah, I went ahead and armored him back up here. He's got all of his armor back on. And I know I said I was going to switch heads, but we're reviewing this figure as is right now, so you can see that. And that's looking cool. Oh, cool. Now, doesn't this look nice? Man-at-Arms beside Who-Man with his yelling head. And then I've got the Hordak MX open mouth version, Mundo style version head on this Battle Armor, Revolution Battle Armor He-Man, which is my second favorite He-Man head sculpt. You can even see his teeth and stuff detailed in there. So can you with our Who-Man, and so that's looking really good. Check that out. Yeah, I think they'll be good fighting together. Love that shield. That shield is beautiful. And I like that sword too. I mean, it's no He-Man sword, but it's cool. And I'll show you. Here is He-Man's sword next to it. This is the metal version that came from that 2-pack from San Diego Comic-Con the other year. But yeah, I like He-Man's sword the best. But that's still a nice sword. Really cool sword. But yep, there you go. And here's that alien lizard guy from Savage Crucibles. That's so cool. And he's carrying that sword that came as a bonus with our Who-Man. And there's this other sword on his back that came as a bonus with the warrior with ball and chain. So he's the lizard came with some pretty cool weapons himself. I liked his weapon that he came with. It's a cool weapon, but these translucent ones are definitely more evil and dark looking, and it matches him well. So I love that. I like that. He's just an awesome figure. And here's Who-Man getting ready to fight him. angry, getting ready to charge and fight him. So that's looking really cool. Here's our Who-Man next to our Norseman by Frazetta Girls Iconic Collectibles. And then we have our Marvel Legends Zabu with our Marvel Legends Sheena, the She-Devil. And they just look awesome together in this scale, I think, because I also have Kazar, but I customized the Kazars. I got an idea from someone on Instagram to take an extra Norseman body, and I put some fur around him here. He's got good boots already, and put that head from this body to that body, and it just looks very realistic, and it actually looks good with that head and makes him a little bit more jacked. And so there's Kazar, Shayna, and Zabu all together with Who-Man and the Norseman. Looking really cool here in my MOTU universe. Just looking so cool. This new Eternia with all the Masters Universe figures that we know and love, plus these awesome additions that fit in with the lore. And here's our amazing looking Who-Man alongside our new Eternia Teela, but I used the Revelation Captain of the Guards Teela head, the one that came with those two heads, one with the like disheveled hair down and one with the hair up with the tiara. I swapped out and used that head here. I thought it looks better than the head that came with the Teela, unless you do a repaint. Some people are doing a repaint of that Teela and it looks excellent. Check out Instagram and even YouTube, and you'll see that I'm just not that good with painting faces, but when they painted it, it looked 100% better. But since I'm not that good at painting faces, I swapped out this head since I had an extra Teela head like this, and I think that makes this body, this whole outfit look 100% better. And that gold bronze type shield matches up good with Who-Man, and yeah, maybe He-Man's got to run for his money here, because Who-Man may even meet up with She-Ra and be like, girl, I'm messing. All right, and then here is Casus, and he is also a he's an X-Ray Studio figure, loose collectibles. It's loose collectibles, and he is one of my favorite big boys to put in with my Masters of the Universe figures. He's just looking so amazing next to Who-Man here. Look at him. That's awesome. And we've got to bring a classic figure in the mix. Here's our Masters of the Universe Battle Armor He-Man classic style with the classics vintage style head sculpt. And I think He-Man classics looks good with Who-Man Savage Crucible. And then there it is with Shao Kahn by Storm Collectibles. And of course he's tall and imposing, but I think they match up good together with this kind of, you know, motif, gladiator style, fighting style looking figure. And yeah, just looking awesome here. And here is Who-Man next to Scar with my custom paint job on Scar, looking awesome here. They look good together, these two behemoths, especially Scar there. He's a big boy. But Who-Man also looks good with Tigra by Iconic Collectibles. That is from the Fire and Ice series by Frazetta Girls. And she also comes with a non-articulated, except for the mouth, Panther. It's looking cool there. But yeah, she looks good with Who-Man as well. Thank you so much for joining us for this Super Dave review and episode 43 of figures, accessories, and playsets that go well with Masterverse or Classics. And I certainly think that our Who-Man here meets the challenge and is just looking so cool with all of our barbarians and all the figures we compared him to today. And so thank you again for coming and joining us for this fun look at Who-Man. And if you agree, let us know in the comments. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Hit that thumbs up or thumbs down. We appreciate it when you do interact with us. Give us, a shout out. We'd love to have you come back and see us again. So hit those notifications and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Be blessed. Here's some photos in the photo gallery.